our home on a native land.
That is Julie Black. That was the line, or the word, actually, because that's all it is a word that kind of got people up in arms to some degree, which I think caught us a little by surprise. Didn't think that many people would actually react to this, but many have.
The whole world by surprise. And I still get shivers when I hear it. I still have that. I'm like, whoa, that is such a powerful moment.
So that was Julie Black singing at the NBA All-Star Game. That's when this topic first came up. We played a clip earlier on, if you didn't hear it, the Prime Minister weighing in on this, the idea that maybe that's something we consider making a permanent change. Julie Black is on the line. She's a Canadian R&B singer, Juno-award winner, of course. Julie, thanks so much for being here again.
Oh, it's my pleasure. How are you both today?
We're doing good, and we're kind of little, I'll be honest with you, we asked the question earlier on in the show of our audience, so what do you think? You okay with this, not okay with this? And surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly, we had a few people suggest, no, I don't want this change. Some for the reason of, I don't want change, period, and some for the reason of, no, I don't think that's fair to those Canadians who are not native Canadians. I mean, it's kind of a pick your poison. I know, and maybe you could just recount this. When you did this, decided to go ahead with this, what were you expecting as reaction, or were you expecting any?
I wasn't expecting any. I did it as a way to show my support to Indigenous folks, Indigenous peoples, to use one of the biggest platform for the Canadian anthem in the world for a meaningful moment, and to be open. The NBA All-Star break is like so American. I really didn't think most people would notice. I kind of like hid the kale in the smoothie, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's exactly the opposite of what happened,
hid the kale in the smoothie. Holy.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite. I mean, it's something that I'm grateful that we're having conversation. So I think it's less about should it be changed? Is it something that it's really more about, hey, we're still in the day of wondering how we could all support truth and reconciliation, and really, as Canadians, recognize that even if you're like, I'm born here, I'm born and raised here, but this isn't the land. This isn't my land. Like, that's just how I feel about it personally. And so it's okay to celebrate the history and not feel like, you know, something's being taken away from you if we acknowledge the truth.
Hallelujah. One doesn't have to go without the other. That's kind of what we were trying to get across today. Yet people are very resistant. Now, Julie, when we spoke to you right after this, right, I think it was like within the week that you had sung this at the NBA All-Star Game, you were having a very emotional reaction to it, and you were having ongoing conversations. So here we are all this time later. Mm-hmm. Are you still very emotional about it? Are you still having those kinds of conversations? I mean, with everybody, but particularly with the Indigenous community.
Oh, absolutely. I'm still very. I'll be. It's something that brings emotion to my eyes. Just the thought of the little boys and girls, and even elders, everybody who are Indigenous, saying this is the only way we sang it, or thank you for seeing us. We know you as a Black person have your own plights. But yet thank you for the courage. And I didn't think it was that anything super bold and courageous to be open. My barometer is always like the path of least resistance. I didn't feel any resistance. I felt all love, all peace. And so it'll always have a visceral kind of effect on me. And I'm just so happy that there's conversation. And yes, we're still talking about it. And I hope that it continues to be discussed where it's on a micro level, though, like what's going on within the communities. How could we truly look at this anthem and go and dissect it every word? Some people don't want to hear God keep our land. They're not religious, so it's just something that some of us are realizing that it was kind of forced upon us. Yes, it's an anthem. I get it. Patriotism. Then we have our, those people who veterans, and I'll never take away, like that's important, 100%. I also feel like there's room for conversation and improvement. I'm a songwriter. There's some songs I wrote 20 years ago that I don't sing right now. Like, I don't think I'll sing that heartbreak song right now.
So I'm curious, we're going to run out of time, but I wonder too, if after the initial reaction, right, the outrage, if you want to call it that, from some people, it dies down, and has it resurfaced again, or is it over as far as you're concerned? You're still getting those from people?
Oh, it's totally. Once the Assembly of First Nations stood in, had my back. Once we had the blanketing ceremony and the eagle's feather, and people are seeing that I'm actually doing work, and I've been doing work within the Indigenous communities. They realized it wasn't a PR stunt. It was not a fad. I'm continuing to, wave the flag, so to speak. And to me, it's like everybody's entitled to their opinion, even ugly ones. It's your opinion. Those who are spitting hate and rage, they have to really examine where that's coming from and why, because it really has nothing to do with me.
Oof, that's how I feel like if anybody's going to decide, it should be the people most affected by the words. However,
right.
I understand that to some degree all Canadians are affected. Julie, who should decide if these lyrics get changed or not?
Well, I think that we call upon the chiefs and make it an Indigenous, an assembly type thing. I think that obviously to put it into law, it has to be the government. But it has to come from, I believe, Indigenous people saying, yeah, this is something that will make us feel like we are rendered no longer invisible.
For those who missed it, I will play this, and we have to wrap it up on this. This was the Prime Minister responding to that exact question earlier today, Brian.
The anthem has changed many times over the past decades in a lot of different ways that have always been driven by and responsive by Canadians. So I look forward to talking with Indigenous Canadians about how they feel the anthem could or might change. I want to talk about with a lot of Canadians. It's not any government's anthem, it's Canadian. I'm open to the changes that Canadians want to see.
All right. We shall see where it goes from that. Julie, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
It's my pleasure. Take care.
Good care.
You
Julie
too.
Black.